Please be seated, folks. As you know, one of my favorite subjects is the missionary call and the first missionaries that were appointed. The 13th chapter of Acts gives to us the pattern. You know, these days, it's just somebody's recommendation or some passing person who appears to be interested. And it is very sad that anybody in this fellowship who has had so much light should just go by the recommendation of some passing person. Now, did Paul and Barnabas do that? If you turn to the 13th chapter of Acts, you will find a church where there were prophets. Now, my dear friends, surely we should be ashamed of ourselves if we ever arrive at a time when there are no prophesying girls and boys amongst us. You know? And here, in the 13th chapter, now there were in the church that was in Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon, that was called Niger, and Lucius, and Cyrene, and Manaen, which had been brought up with Herod the Tetrarch, and Saul. And they ministered to the Lord and fasted. The Holy Ghost said, "Separate me, Barnabas and Saul, for the work whereunto I have called them." So it was not just an individual suddenly popped sitting up and saying, "Hey, I feel I ought to go to Alaska and get to many redskins there." You know, folks, there are still neglected tribes. And there are places which cannot be reached. Some of the young men in our Bible school tell me that they will have to walk 3 days before they can reach their places in the mountains. But, you know, we are positioning our bookstalls, Bibles in remote places, so that even the places hard to reach can be reached by these books and Bibles. So, here we see that it was the Holy Ghost said, "Separate me, Barnabas and Saul, for the work whereunto I have called them." And when they had fasted and prayed and laid their hands on them, they sent them away. So they, being sent forth by the Holy Ghost, departed unto Seleucia, and from thence they sailed to Cyprus. I have spoken to you already what transpired in the court in Cyprus. Now, my dear friends, we started a work in Cyprus, being so close to Israel. Unfortunately, some of the visa problems, as well as the lack of maturity in our workers, meant that they had to be withdrawn. You know, I preached in Cyprus to a very strange collection of people. The Greek Orthodox Church does not want lay people, ordinary people, to preach. They have got a system which has produced great spiritual deadness. How sad it made me. You know, looking across the barbed wire and standing on a high place, I saw the place which by invasion the Turks had taken over, the northern half of Cyprus. You know, and one could not enter there at that time. Now, in the court of this deputy, Roman deputy, Paul was able to testify in such a manner that the deputy began to turn to the Lord. Now, this was greatly resented by Elymas the sorcerer. Now, Satanism, I hear of the spread of Satanism in several places. And in England, there's a place called Stonehenge. And there, at Halloween times and so on, there are special gatherings of the witches and others. By law, those things had been once forbidden. But today, it looks like this deputy, Roman deputy, who had this Elymas, the sorcerer, right there. But when Elymas tried to withstand Paul, what did Paul do? Did Paul back off? 9th verse, please. Saul, who also is called Paul, filled with the Holy Ghost, set his eyes on him and said, O full of all subtlety and all mischief, thou child of the devil, thou enemy of all righteousness, Wilt thou not cease to pervert the right ways of the Lord? And behold, the hand of the Lord is upon you, and thou shalt be blind, not seeing the sun for a season. And of course, immediately he was struck blind. You know, but look at these forthright words. Today, you know, we talk in such a way that our talk is not really directed by the Holy Spirit. Now, you see the contrast. Here is Paul, just recently converted, and then he had his stint of training in the Arabian desert. And he is able to address himself to the highest people in the land. What has happened to us preachers? We have become midgets, spiritual moral dwarfs. It grieves me, I tell you, it grieves me to my heart. That's why I cannot hold my peace. Thou enemy of all righteousness. You see, you have to take sides. On which side are you? Are you on the Lord's side? If you're on the Lord's side, you will never be ashamed of taking a stand for righteousness. Today, you know, as in our earlier retreat in Göttingen, just about 14 days ago, or 10 days ago, you know, there was one who was lecturing to university students. And it appears at some of the big meetings of the staff members and professors, they just whisper, she believes in Christ. As though it is a black mark against her. Ashamed of Christ. You see, my friends, there's no need whatever for us to be ashamed of Jesus Christ. So, as these missionaries proceeded, they went on to Antioch from there. And there, in Antioch, in the synagogue, they had to convince those people, now listen, Jesus Christ is the culmination of all the prophecies concerning the Messiah. And they declared Christ. But, you know, there were those that would not believe. The 39th verse. And by him all that believe are justified from all things from which you could not be justified by the law of Moses. Beware, therefore, lest that come upon you which is spoken of in the prophets. Behold, ye despisers, and wonder and perish. For I work a work in your days, a work which you shall in no wise believe, though a man declare it unto you. And when the Jews were gone out of the synagogue, the Gentiles besought that these words might be preached to them the next Sabbath. You know, folks, what I am discovering, some of those people who had been ardent worshippers of idols are at the forefront today, penetrating difficult and dangerous areas. These fellows, whom I call, there is a big rodent which is in the tropics. I don't think you have it here. And I call them a bunch of bandicoots, brought up in Christian homes. Bandicoot is the name of that big rodent which goes about scavenging in the sewers. Folks, when I see these men who had formerly been idolaters going to distant and difficult places, I feel thrilled. I say, but where are these fellows brought up in Christian families? What are they up to? They're accomplishing very little. They're just satisfied. Now, my dear friends, I have been stricken for many years with a deep dissatisfaction with my product. Am I doing the very best for Jesus? I don't believe so. I don't believe so. I feel sad. Why? I have had such a wealth of Christian teaching and training. Such a wealth. And how can I give an account to God? Pray for my children. Because all that I wish to give to them is faith, the heritage of faith. Not bigness, not money, not anything else. The heritage of faith. Now, we see, therefore, that some of these Jews resisted the word. But, the 42nd verse, please. And when the Jews were gone out of the synagogue, the Gentiles besought that these words might be preached to them the next Sabbath. Who are the hungry? Recently there was a man who was in my room, in my office. He had murdered someone else and had been a lifer in prison when he was converted. And he has positioned himself now that he has been released in a place which is renowned as a place of pilgrimage. And to those idolatrous people, he is declaring God's word. You see, they are a fanatic group. They can just end his life in no time. But as that place is very close, that's almost a linking point between India and Sri Lanka. And he was beseeching me, please come to our place. There are millions of pilgrims going into their idolatry. You know, I tried to communicate that to one of my Bible students, earlier Bibles, but he has ensconced himself very comfortably in some place, doing good work, just lacks the vision. Where there is no vision, people perish. You know, even in Christian work, just choosing the comfortable places. What a mindset is that? It's an ugly mindset. When there are battles to face for Jesus Christ, am I just going to seek my comfort? What kind of Christian am I? A false Christian. No Christian at all. So, the Gentiles wanted the Word of God. Heathen men are begging us, please come, please come. Are we walking in His footsteps? Let's pray. I plead with you that each one of us will be revived and so restored in our hearts that we will not seek the broad way or the success syndrome of the world, but rather walk in your footsteps. So help us, we pray, to discharge our missionary duty in this short life of ours. We beseech you in Jesus' name. Amen.